Welcome back. This is the third and final video of how to set up a jeweler's bench. In the first video, we set up the bench and we got the right chair. In the second video, we got the grobet or fordham, and we got the torch, and we got the light. In this video, I'm going to show you the hand tools that are just the basic necessities that you'll be able to get a lot done and get you started. So, what we got going here, pliers. These pliers, so what you do, you're going to want two flats. You're going to want, so flat on each side, flat tapers. And here's how you hold jewelry pliers. I'll show you. So when you go to the store, they're sold like this. See that? Where they used to have that there? What you do is you need a bench knife too for your bench. It's one of the tools. You just need a little jeweler's bench that you're just going to thrash on. Do that. You got that. And then get this, get your pliers. Got that done. So the reason for this is because you want to know how much resistance you're pressing. You don't want to have springs involved. And some of the instructors I heard say that traditionally they always were you always just held the metal, and so you could feel the metal. All right, so there you go. There's your pliers. I'll buff those out with some sandpaper, with the emery sticks that I'll show you how we're going to make. So that's how I hold them. So you go like that, or let's see, I go like that usually. Yep, that's how I do it. So I hold them like that or like that. You just need one finger on the inside so you can. All right, pliers. So real quick, I just wanted to say one thing about why I'm doing these videos. These pliers were bought for me from my family, from my dad, in 1999 when I was sent to the Revere Academy. And I was instructed under Alan Revere himself. And so one of the reasons I'm doing these videos is because the Revere Academy is closed. And I learned from the best. So I'm going to make some videos recording my knowledge so that if anyone wants to get down with some Revere education, I'm going to give it to you for free. So that's what's up with that. And I wanted to say that one thing about jewelry, jewelry's awesome. Jewelry's forever. Years are nothing to jewelry. This was made by my dad around the time I was born. This was made in 1976 by my dad, Jeremy. And I've kept it all this time. And look at his beautiful work. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? So this is real delicate for silver. This would be a really good 14 karat yellow or 14 karat white gold design. I mean, you can make gold down to this thin and it will be really durable and hard and not bend out of shape. But this, you'd have to be careful with. But it's beautiful. Good job, Jeremy. I love you, Dad. Thank you for sending me to school, and I still have the pliers, and I'm here teaching, passing on the love. All right, so we got the pliers. You got your bench knife. You need some shears. You need some of these shears right here because you need solder. You need silver solder. That's medium solder. This is hard solder. Solder is sterling silver. Sterling silver melts at 1640 degrees. So sterling silver melts at 1640 degrees. This hard solder melts at 1300 degrees. This melts right before the ring or the jewelry that you're working on melts. So when you're working the torch, if you have the torch up high and you're spacing out, it's literally a matter of seconds, sometimes less than seconds. And you melted the hard solder already melted and you're melting the ring. So the torch work, when we get to that, I was just explaining that solder is sterling silver. So this stuff is not cheap. And when it comes to gold, it gets crazy. This thing is, this little square is expensive, and you always have to buy 3 because there's hard, medium, and solder. Hard solder melts at the highest temperature. Medium melts at a lower temperature. You can assemble the ring with the hard solder and then add stuff on to the jewelry piece and with this medium and not melt the hard solder so the ring doesn't fall apart, the jewelry, whatever it is, doesn't fall apart. We'll get to that. Okay, next, you need a file, a half round file, medium grit, fine to medium grit. Mandrel, cheap. This thing was just like whatever, $10. And you need a mandrel for your sizes, but also you need it to get your rings round and to get your bezels round and to get everything round. Brass brush, brass wire brush. This is from a hardware store in the brush section. Stainless steel tweezers that I use for the torch setup for heat. These, I think you can get these at Ben Franklin or something. Pretty sure probably Ben Franklin would have good one of these. Back to the pliers. The ones at Ben Franklin in places are plated in this super crazy shiny chrome stuff that flakes off. Those things suck. These are one of the tools that you just kind of need to spend the extra $20 and get the $40 pair because it's worth it. Needle files, sorry. Needle files. Okay, so needle files, just buy the set so that you don't have to like worry about which tooth grit. Magnification, even if you see good, just get some good magnification for soldering and for getting down with the get down. A loop for really getting down in there and seeing if there's like a problem, whatever. You're going to need a slide caliper. This brass is a really nice, it's really accurate. So millimeter caliper. Solder tweezers for the soldering pad, which is charcoal. This comes as one charcoal block. It broke into pieces, which I like. Some people wire it together for it to stay together, but I build a backstop, and then I can put the solder item right there, but we'll get to that. So you need one charcoal block from the jewelry supply, and you can go online to Rio Grande is a decent one. Dividers. 2 points, dividers, basic dividers. Bezel push. Eye protection. Get the UV ones so that you can wear these when you're staring into the torch at 1 foot away for hours. Jeweler's saw. Now this one's deep. You're not really gonna cut anything this deep, you know, like that deep of a sheet of metal. I bought this for woodworking too. So the normal one is about this deep, and it works perfectly fine, and it has more of a balance. This one's kind of back heavy. And these blades, you buy the 2/0. That's 2/0. And it's a good size to start with. And it's the size I use for the all-round size. And they come in 12 packs, I think. Buy a few 12ers. Buy a case. All right. So, sandpaper. We're going to make emery sticks because the ones you buy at the store are a ripoff. They have this little strip of sandpaper that you use up in literally just minutes. So you need to make one yourself. I'll show you how, that you can peel the layers off because we'll go through it pretty fast. So you buy 400, 600, and 800 and go to the paint part of the hardware store and grab 5 paint stirrers and the little wooden paint stir things, and that's how we're going to make the emery stick. I'll show you that in a minute. Grab some duct tape for that project if you don't have duct tape. Next up, flux. Jewelry supply. You need to buy some flux. It's kind of fluorescent yellow when it's bought new. Mine is years old, but it still works. Next up, Sparex chemical. This is that's just dust. This is acid. It's there we go. Sparex. This is sold in the by the jewelry supply. It's a really weak acid that dissolves off the fire coat. Boric acid. So boric acid, this protects the copper in the alloy when you torch it, when you have the torch on it. And it's absolutely critical to everything with jewelry, everything. So you need to get some boric acid. It's really cheap. Next, you get some rubbing alcohol. You mix it up. You make a paste. Mine all dried out. I'll get to that when we start soldering. This is an old pesto jar. This is an old pesto jar as well. This is the Sparex solution. This is the weak acid solution that you put the jewelry in right after you've done the torch work. And it removes the oxide because torch work is brutal on the metal. All right, so that's it. That's pretty much it. It's just the raw basics. You get these and and a little paintbrush so that you can paint the flux onto the part that you're about to solder. We'll get to that too, but just get an old cheap paintbrush. And that's it, my friends. I love you very much. Thank you for watching the video. And thank you for following me down this jewelry gold brick road.